So, you've been trying for a year and still no luck. What's next? Here's the next step in my journey. So, if you've seen my previous videos, you'd know that I have PCOS and endometriosis, and I have had issues, or I've struggled trying to get pregnant. I have done a video, like an intro video, and I've done a video on polycystic ovaries, and as I said in my last video, I'll be doing it in the timeline that things happen for me. And so the next part of my journey is, at the end of the years trying, going to the doctors and seeing what they can do in regards to tests and stuff to see if they can figure out what's going on. So that's what we did. So we went to the doctor and we just basically kind of explained to them we've been trying for a year. I am in the know about having PCOS, and I've been trying to track my ovulation, but I haven't really been able to get it. I wasn't certain if I was doing it right or if I just wasn't ovulating due to my polycystic ovaries. So that was just something that we explained to the doctors, and they basically said that we need to get some tests done. So first and foremost, they tested Yas to see if his sperm was fine. That was the first thing that they did. So on that day, they told him he'd need to do that. They, I think they did some blood tests and maybe took a urine sample. I can't really remember, it was quite a while ago. I think they were testing for thyroid, because that can lead to infertility, and they did like a basic STD check just to make sure that I didn't have any sexually transmitted diseases that would cause infertility, and they all came back clear. Then Yas had his sperm checked, and the hospital require it half an hour after it's been posited. I guess for him it was an eventful morning. I was fast asleep and he had to wake up before work and deposit his sample in a pot that morning, and he had to keep it warm. You have to keep it warm in order for it to survive, so he had to put it in his inside jacket. On the ride on the way to work, he had to pop round to the hospital and give it to them within half an hour, otherwise it would have been thrown out. But his sperm was tested twice, and it was perfectly fine, so we knew that there was something else going on with me. My next step was, now I've written this down because I have no idea how to say it. Okay, so my next step was to have a Hysterosalpingogram. Let me try that again. Hysterosalpingogram. I think that was a bit better. I still don't even know if I'm saying it, but for sure it's HSG, which is basically where they look at your tubes. So my fallopian tubes, they wanted to test and, have a look. It's like an X-ray, and basically what they do is they put a catheter in and insert a fluid that basically shows up on an X-ray, and they kind of pump that through, as well as having an internal scan so that they can see your fallopian tubes and your uterus and stuff, and just to make sure that there's no polyps or blockages in your fallopian tubes that would be causing the infertility either. Now let me just take a minute to talk about that, because if you end up in the same situation as me and you have to have one, I was lucky enough to have my cousin's friend explain to me, what she had and what to look out for and stuff. And so I already knew of this. And when I found out I was having it, I was a little bit scared because I heard that it can be uncomfortable, but I don't know if I just don't take pain very well. I struggled a lot going through it because, and I don't even know why it hurts, but when they're putting that fluid through and you can see it, you're laying there and you can feel what they're doing. My doctor was very, very good with it. She told me exactly what she was doing, when I would feel any pressure and stuff, so that I knew to kind of gear up for it. And I was lucky because I had Yas with me. So I was kind of like holding on to his hand, and it was for me, it was really painful. When you have a period and you have painful periods, it usually takes a little bit of time before the pain kicks in, so you can feel the pain like developing, and then it gets really bad. This was basically 0 to 100. It went from no pain to like really bad period pain. That's the best way I could describe it. So for me, I was in a lot of pain, and I don't know if that was normal. Some people say that it was just a discomfort to them. Some people do say that they had pain. Again, I guess it's different for everyone. But yeah, it was, for me, that was really, really painful. But I got to see what was going on the screen, which was quite interesting, to look at my ovaries and fallopian tubes and to see all of that stuff going on. So that was really interesting. But yeah, it was painful, but I am glad that I did it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I am now in my journey. I think it's something that a lot of people go through. If they're having fertility issues, I think everyone has to have like the standard tests, and I think that is one of the standard tests of checking that your fallopian tubes aren't blocked or they don't have anything wrong with them. So yeah, I had to have that, and you get your results right there and then, and they basically told me there is absolutely nothing wrong with your fallopian tubes. You know, they're perfectly fine. So that was good. I guess I was really happy with that, because I was a bit worried, but I was really happy with that. But the only problem with that is that there would then be something else that is obviously stopping me from getting pregnant. So yeah, from that we learned that Yas's sperm was in mint condition. I didn't have any STDs, and I don't have thyroid. And my tubes are fine. So all of that together was great. And then they basically sat us down in their office and said, you know, everything seems to be great, but something's obviously stopping you from getting pregnant. So we're going to have to carry on this kind of like investigation. And so the next step was to talk about medication, different medications that I could be on, because I have polycystic ovaries, and because I told them that I couldn't catch my ovulation. I didn't know if it wasn't happening or if I just wasn't doing it right. Because of those two things, they were talking about putting me on medication that would help me to ovulate, and see if that made any difference. But that is for another video. That will be my next one. My up and coming video will be about the medication that I was put on and how it turned me completely crazy. Seriously, I went insane on this medication. But again, I'll talk about that in the next video. But yeah, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to come along on this journey with me, as this is my storytelling part. As we get closer to where I am now, it will turn into more of a vlog style. I'll probably still have some storytelling, but I will have a lot of documentation to add. But as I said, this is just story time. So if you want to carry on with the story of my infertility, then yes, like, comment and subscribe.